Hey guys, it's Trish from Trish's Card Club, live from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Happy Monday night, everybody. How is everyone? And I got a bunch of people already on. Thanks, Shannon and Angela, Teresa, and Mary. Very good to see all you guys. Anne-Marie, thanks. I'm so happy to see everyone, and thank you for sharing some of your Monday night with me. And if you're watching the replay, thank you for that. I'm always grateful for that. I would love to know if you watch the replays. Comment at the end, because I get so excited when people watch my work. So I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I have a YouTube channel and a Facebook page called Trish's Card Club. And you can shop with me 24/7 at trishan.stampinup.net. So that's my the details. I always go live. I shouldn't say always. 99% of the time I go live on Monday night at 8 o'clock Eastern time. And when I finish it, I immediately upload it to Facebook. My videos are unedited and full of human error, but they come from my heart because I love stamping and I love sharing my joy of stamping with you guys. Hey, Charlene, thanks for joining. And I love to know that you guys are stamping and sharing your joy with others as we pass on the joy of blessing somebody with a card. So that's my spiel. Okay, what are we going to talk about tonight? Well, first of all, before I take this off the screen, let's talk about golf. Okay, who watched the tournament this weekend? Hey, Judy, it was amazing. Thursday and Friday, I caught up after I got out of work because I do have to work. And Saturday, it was really good. Towards the end, Scotty Scheffler was 4 strokes behind. And I went to church on Sunday, and I have a friend there that we talk about golf every Sunday. And we're like, he's probably not going to make it this time. Well, I come home from church on Sunday, and lo and behold, the score is tied. And I watched the rest of it, and he wins by 2 shots. It was so amazing. I don't know how anyone cannot think that golf is exciting. It is so exciting. Hey, Carrie and Teresa. I'm just talking about my weekend golf. Now, you might be asking me, but Trish, didn't football preseason start? Well, yes, it did. So I watched football last night, but I got my golf in because we're not quite done. We have one more tournament for this season. It's the big one. It's the FedEx Cup, the overall. And, Scotty's the favorite, but you never know because they all 30 players that worked all year long to get to this event all have equal chances to win. So next weekend is going to be really, really good. I am a little busy next weekend. I'm going to have to be watching the updates on my phone. So, but I will hopefully get to see some of it on Sunday. So that's my weekend. Okay. In between all that, I want to let you guys know I spent hours working on crafts, chicks, and chocolate. And Karen and I talked for hours over the last week about crafts, chicks, and chocolate. We are busily preparing the different products, make and takes. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. For Product Playground and our cards, and Karen's working super hard on the crafts, and they are coming along swimmingly. It is going to be a fantastic day. So hopefully you are saving your pennies and you're going to be able to join us that day because it's really, really, really fun. Judy and Angela, who else is on? Hey, Karen. I don't know why you guys aren't playing bingo with Carrie Todd on once a month. She and her husband Dale do the most fabulous bingos. It's on a Saturday night. What else do you have to do? Message me and I can give you the details. The location, Charlene, I don't know the address, but the location is going to be on Colonial Road, or Karen could probably type it in, on Colonial Road, right by kind of by I-4. I think that's the closest I could explain it. It's going to have, it has a parking garage, so there's plenty of parking. I just don't know the actual physical address, but it is in Orlando on Colonial. Karen said Colonial Drive in Magnolia. Thank you, Karen. I could not think of that. Colonial Drive and Magnolia is the intersection that it's going to be at. So, and there's a parking garage, like I said, plenty of parking. So that's going to work out really well. But I am so excited, you guys, because of course, we're going to repeat some things that we did last year, things that we know have worked for the first couple of years. But Karen and I are always committed to put our heads together and come up with some new ideas so that it stays fresh and it stays exciting and interesting. And we have accomplished that this year for 2026. So I'm really excited. Okay. Tonight's video is using a lot of ink, water, blocks, and who knows how this is going to come out. I'm using Old Olive, Daffodil Delight, and Pumpkin Pie. Now, the reason I'm using these colors, and they do look very fall, even though we're still in August, and lots of places around the country with people that are that are watching this video are going to be like, it's still hot, Trish. And I know, but I was also preparing this weekend for my September class here in Chattanooga. And so I had to work on some fall cards. So these were the colors that were on my desk. So these are the colors of the card tonight. A little fallish, but it's going to work. So let me open up my stamp pads. Karen is saying that you're going to love the venue. Karen's company is building a brand new facility, a brand new office building with an event center, a brand new parking garage. It is going to be 100% new. And Karen's been able to video a little bit of like the outside. It's not a lot, but here and there sharing a picture, and it is going to be beautiful. So we are both super excited, super excited for this event. So it will be beautiful. Okay. So I am taking a piece of paper, a white piece of paper on a white paper towel, because I need to, well, actually it's going to be more like this. Okay. This is not a new technique. Let me just make sure. This is not a new technique. Hey, Pig Neil from rainy Florida. Yeah, it's been raining here, you guys. Some of you reached out to me, and I really appreciate that. We had a flood in Chattanooga, more where I work than where I live. Where I live, we did not really get impacted, but where I work, we got very impacted. It was crazy. Let me see if I can get this to come in a little bit. There we go. So it's not so blurry. It was crazy last week, and so yeah, it's been raining, Peg. I can understand that. Okay. As I started to say, but I get so distracted with your comments because I get all excited with the interaction. I feel like you're all in my living room. It's back in the day when I had my classes in my living room, and that brings me a ton of joy. So this is not a new technique. It's been around forever. I just don't try it because I don't like messy, but we're going to do messy tonight. We're going to be using this spritz bottle that Stampin' Up! Does still sell. They're available. They come in a pack of 2. I think they're $6, and it's called the spritzer. So if you need the product, if you don't have this and you need it, Stampin' Up! does still sell it. So basically what you do is you take a block, and I am taking the B block, and I am going to ink it up. I'm just going to literally put ink on the block, all over the block like that, and then get it good and inky. I'm going to set it on my paper towel, and I'm going to take my spritzer, and I'm going, well, you know what? I can already tell there's a problem because I can see where there's some ink on one of the sides of the block. So one of the things is you definitely want to get a lot of ink on the block. Okay. Now I'm better off. I'm going to take my spritzer, hold it 5 or 6 inches away, and then I'm going to spritz my block a couple times like that. Do you see how the water hit it? And you want to have a paper towel on because it's kind of messy. And then I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it down on my paper. Hopefully you can see this. And I'm going to let it absorb into the paper. Now, you can't control how it's going to come out. Every single time you do this, it's going to be different. So that's how this one came out, which looks pretty good. I wish it had gotten more ink there, but that's okay that it didn't. It still looks pretty good. So then I'm going to take the orange and I'm going to do the same. And you got to work a little bit fast on this. So I've got the orange, spritzing it with my spritzer. Probably 2 or 3 spritzes is all you need. Just kind of move the ink around to make sure it's all covered. Let me see if I can get some ink down on this side of the block. Can you guys see it moving? And yeah, you can see it moving. Okay. So that's going to cover it up. And then I'm going to put this one this way. That one's going to be really wet, but that's okay. And hopefully you can still see it. I may need to move it this way a little bit. Ooh, that one came out really good. Okay. So that's the green. I'm sorry, green. Listen to me. That's pumpkin pie. Now I'm going to do old olive. Let me get a good amount of ink on that block. Like I said, this is not a new technique. People have done it for a really long time. I've never tried it because I don't like messy, but I really do like the end result a lot. So let me smush that around. Maybe that's what I didn't do when I did my yellow, is I didn't have enough ink on it. And so then I'm going to do this way. Ooh, that almost fell out of my hand, you guys. I would have had to start all over. Okay. And then I'm going to put it there like that. Yep. And if it bleeds in the corner, that's fine. Now I'm going to take my heat gun, and the Stampin' Up! Heat gun has 2 speeds on it. I'm going to use the first, that's the second speed. I'm going to use the first speed so it's low so I can dry this. And it's okay that it bled a little. That's not a problem. I'm just speeding it up. You don't have to dry it like this. I'm just speeding up the process so I can finish the card tonight while you guys are still here and haven't left me. Just going behind to get as much as I can of it dry. And it's almost dry. Yeah. It's just a little bit damp. And you can use any shapes. You don't have to just use, I mean, any size blocks. It doesn't have to be just the small ones. I just use the small ones because the piece of paper that I'm using is pretty small. Like that. Okay, let me see. Yep, that's good and dry. And then I can speak over that heat gun because on the lower speed, it's not real loud. Okay, so here's my design. And then I'm going to add one more thing to it. I'm going to use the stamp set You Are Beautiful, this fern right here. And it's going to be so pretty. I'm going to ink it up in black. As I used to say, every room needs a little bit of black. So I want to get it good and inked because I want it to give a really good impression. This would be another time when using your Stamparatus, if you still have one, would work really good. Now this stamp is distinctive, so it's not a flat, even it's not going to all look exactly the same, but with that much ink on it, it will come out really nice. Let's see, do I want to go this way? Nope, I want to go this way. And then I'm going to, do I want to go this way? Yeah, I want to go that way. And then I'll ink it up, hold it down. This is a fake diamond, in case you girls are wondering. My God, Trish, did you rob a bank? No, this is from a boutique in Florida that I've had for years and years and years. It has a really cool feature. Ta-da! That looks good. This piece right here screws off. Look, I'll show you. And you can change the stone. Isn't that the coolest thing? Yeah. So today it's diamonds. Tomorrow it might be an onyx. I don't know. Depends on what's in my jewelry box, what I feel like wearing. Okay, let's see. Yes, Carrie, it is so, I know it's been around forever. Carrie was saying that she's going to drag her inks and block out in place. This technique has been around. This is not something new. It's just that it's new to me because I don't like messes. But you see, if you focus and you don't dilly-dally, you can come up with a beautiful card. So this is my card base. Now I wanted this card base. Let me see. Okay, I wanted to put a word on it, and I'm going to put on, if I can find it, I'm using Everyday Arches as the stamp set, which, by the way, you guys, just to promote Carrie's bingo again, this is one of the things that I won, was this stamp set with Carrie. Yeah. She and Dale are amazing at their gifts for, there it is, for bingo. It's $30. We make we make 3 cards. I almost said 6. Sorry, Carrie. And we do 6 games of bingo, I think. And her her cards are very, very cute. I love them. And the bingo games are all different varieties. And the final overall is $100 shopping spree. And it's all online. So it's really, really fun. Okay. So I've never stamped this thanks before. So I'm going to just stamp it on my placemat, my paper towels, because sometimes, not always, but sometimes there's a little residue on the photopolymer stamps. So I'm just making sure that when I get it to stamp on my card, it's a good, clean image. I'm just reading. Yeah, you know what, Peg? Yes, you might need to change your heat gun. This one from Stampin' Up is an amazing heat gun. It works really, really well. Like I said, 2 settings, so you can dry something, or you use the higher setting if you have to set embossing powder. It works really well. Okay, so thanks is going to go right here. Very pretty. And then all I'm doing now is I'm just picking up the colors that are in my, I can move that. And I'm just going to do layers. And Teresa, I'm apologizing in advance because I'm not going to do straight layers because I wanted the card to have a little personality. So let's get it going the right. This is Old Olive for a base. This is Pumpkin Pie for your first layer. And then I'm going to put this on a little cattywampus like that. Not too much because then it won't, but I love it just a little bit off-centered. So I will, and then you kind of have to be a little generous with the glue because the paper will curl a little bit. This is just regular basic white cardstock. I know basic white's not the color we call it anymore, but it's just our regular white cardstock. And that, you guys, and then I think, I don't have them out, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig through my embellishment packages because I love the card, but it's a little tiny bit flat. And so I want to put something on it that gives it a little bit of dimension. And as you guys know, this is my embellishment package. I've cut up all my embellishments and put them together by color in their color families. And let's see if I have what I have for greens. Yeah, I have quite a bit of green. So in my green color family, I will take this and put this out of the way. And I will, and the reason I'm going to choose green is I'm going to try to pick up something like right here. So let me see if any of these are close enough to my mossy meadow. I'm sorry, old olive. Let's see. None of those really work. But as you can see, I have a plethora. Oh, there's some right there. Well, no, this is it. This is it. Perfect right there. Now, all my embellishments are not current. I buy them, especially when they go on the last chance rack so that I have them. And I love to use them, and this is how I store them. This is just a passport case, and I put them all in there, all by color, and then boom, I have them. And then in a situation like this, I don't have to go through a million different ones. I just have my embellishments right here. And what I'm going to do is just take them. I'm going to put one here. Oops, maybe I'll put it there. And then I'll take one and put it here. And then I think I'll take one and put it down here. Because in design, you do layers of 3 or 5, just odd numbers. And that, you guys, is my final finish card. And I am super happy with it. I just think it came out really pretty. It's something different. Let me get a little closer. There we go. I'm just really happy with how it came out. The one right here that didn't get a full ink on it, it's exactly how it's supposed to look. So that is my card, and it's so easy. So you could do any color combinations. Like I said, I happen to do fall this time because they do set it off to, I agree. I think that just putting a few embellishments on a card really does make a big difference. So I hope that you guys are encouraged to try something different. You probably have 95% of these tools at home. If you don't have a heated embossing gun, you know to shop at trishen.stampinup.net. But if you don't have it, that doesn't mean you can't make the card. You can still make the card. Just let it air dry so that the paper's nice and dry. When you go ahead and you glue it down, you want the paper to be nice and dry. Somebody asked me about, not tonight, but as I was talking with someone else about making the card, we talked about using watercolor paper. You can use watercolor paper and not just regular white cardstock. It will give you a very, very different look because the watercolor paper is made to absorb the water. So you get quite a bit of a different look, but it's still very pretty. So it's kind of like whatever you have, whatever look you're going for, maybe test it, do both. I don't have a test of it, unfortunately, but this just gives you an idea of what you can do if you just use the white paper. Thanks, you guys, for all those really sweet comments. You guys are the best. Hey, Teresa, I'm glad you thought the card was cute, even if it's a little cattywampus. All right. One more thing before I go and let you guys be free. I got some beautiful cards in the mail this last week, and I always like to share when I get blessed. This one, Carrie Todd will recognize because Carrie sent this in the mail, and she taught it as a class using 2 different embossing folders. So isn't that a cool technique? Now, we all love this embossing folder, which I forgot to check. I'm not sure if it's even available. It came back to stock, and then it may have sold out already, but it'll come back again. The sunflower stock. And then this is the plaid one. Isn't that beautiful? So imagine, you guys, if you had a 12 by 12 designer series paper, how many cards you could make by just using a small piece of designer series paper. And Carrie used designer series paper for a layer, but if it's not in your budget, you could just use cardstock. And you could get you could get so many pretty cards with that one piece of designer series paper. So I love this card. So thank you to Carrie and Dale for their sweet, sweet, kind words and that beautiful card. I think it's so, so pretty. I'm very happy with it. And it's up on my cardboard. And then I'll hide what she wrote because it's kind of personal. But she did the same thing. She put a little layer inside, which I love to do on my cards when I have the space and with using this small amount of DSP, you could do that and definitely. And I've never used this technique of 2 different folders. I just think that is so cool how she did that. And then my second card is from my dear and very precious friend, Carol, who lives in the boonies, literally. Carol has like 100 and something acres of land, and she lives in the middle of it. So she doesn't see a lot of people. She just sees a lot of deer and turkey and birds, and she's very happy. And she has a beautiful, beautiful house. So Carol sent me this. What I don't know is, I don't know if this is with just stamps, like two-step stamping, or if she actually colored it in. It makes me think it's two-step stamping because it's so perfectly done on both of them. This is not a Stampin' Up stamp, but it is so, so pretty. I love that she did that. Yeah, I had to see if she stamped anything on the inside, but isn't that beautiful? So it's so pretty. I love Carol's work. She's very, very talented, and she sends beautiful cards. So that's that. Now, hopefully this card will be the one that will be at the end of the video and that's why I want 1,000 subscribers, in case you've heard me ask for that before, you guys. Is the leafy stamp still current? Angela, I don't know. That's a really good question. You Are Beautiful is the name of the set, and it was $1 million stamp set designer that did it. I don't know if it's still current. I apologize. I didn't even check. I was just looking for the fern, so I used that. So I apologize if it's not current. I know we have other stamp sets out there that have big, beautiful leaves on it. So you can 95% of the time, you guys, when I make a card and I happen to use a set that's not current, there's something that is current that you can find and use. So I'm pretty sure of that. I can't check while I'm live because it will take forever. So okay. I just wanted to finish up the thought about the subscribers. The reason I'm looking for 1,000 subscribers is because I want to be able to edit the end of my video so that when I upload my video from YouTube to Facebook, that you'll be able to get the right cards. Like last week, it was a card that someone sent me that ends up being the final picture. So that's the reason why I want to do it. So my slogan around here is make it and mail it. And that's what I hope that you guys are doing. I know Carrie is being very faithful to that, and I appreciate that. And so I hope that you guys have a really good week. Remember, next week we have another big weekend of golf. That's going to be our finale, and then I'll be all football. And it's 17 days. No, it's 16 days till the NFL season, and I think it's less. It's less than that for the. I think the 30th of this month is the first really big college game. It's going to be Texas against Ohio State. Which, oh my gosh, people, I hope I can contain myself. I'm so excited. They say that it's going to be the most watched college football game over a Labor Day weekend ever. That's how busy and how crazy that game is going to be. So get yourselves ready get your gear on, get your sweatshirts, whatever you need to get ready for that big game. And of course, I'm cheering for Texas. So why? Because Archie Manning is going to play. He's a really, really good kid that has a great future ahead of him, and I'd love to see him have success. So, all right, you guys, I have got to get off and let you be free. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for coming back to the replay. If you're catching the replay, I hope you have a great week, and I will be here next Monday night. Love you guys. Miss you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.